Alright, in this video I'll give you 7 things you may not know about UAE. 7 things. Okay, and these are not mentioned in the media. This is only known by people who have been in UAE for many years. They would know this. Okay, so in no particular order, I'll give the 7. You let me know which one you think is appropriate. And I'll try to put the timestamps down below. The first one that you may not know about UAE, and these are not like geography and all that. 7 controversial things. The first one is, in UAE, most of the companies, you must have seen some of the ads that come in the paper, like 85% off, 90% off. They show their property which is being sold. Think of any big house that is selling flats or residential apartments or villas. Now when they show the photograph, they show that it was house full. They show so many people are there. They show there's a mad rush. They show there's a big line. Now, I know what you're thinking. That photograph is fake. No, the photograph is real. Is it photoshopped? No, it's not photoshopped. The people are real. The photograph is real. But then what is not real? The people who are there are not actually buyers. The people who are there are actors, are extras. Now, how do I know this? I'm in touch with people who are employed for this. In exhibitions, in events, especially in parties where you have to buy things, like they're selling apartment. And they literally fake even having a bag of money. They actually have money in that. And they are told, you meet this guy, give this money to him, sign their dotted line and everything. All that is planned. In fact, some of the events, coaches, online coaches and internet marketers, when they have these events, they say only the first 10 people will be given a special prize. And they see people running. Those people are running are all extras. They're part of the same company. Now, obviously, given the fact that people might know who are working in the same company, so they don't employ employees, they employ outside actors. I know females, I know guys who are actually given money, who are actually told to wear a suit, who are actually told to say a couple of things, and some of them even interact with other people and try to hype things up. So this goes on a lot. This goes on a lot in the Middle East and UAE in particular. So be careful of that. And yes, since I said people are actors, remember, sometimes when you see somebody who is acting like a buyer or person, he might actually be an undercover journalist or undercover cop, especially a cop. They have CID and criminal investigation department people just to see what you're talking, what you're saying, who you're talking with. So be careful, because sometimes they'd want to catch you red-handed. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, you might have seen these exhibitions, GITEX and whatever exhibitions, Big 5 and retail, this thing, and they're selling properties. And okay, there are some which are done by private parties, okay, means private companies. And then there are those which are done by the government. Now, what you may know is, okay, in the government sponsored or the government created events, it's a sellout. Sellout in the sense, all the participants who are there, all the companies, they rush to take their spots. Big brands are there. What you may not know is these brands are not going there willingly. They don't have a choice. I'll not give you the name of the brand or the person who told me, but I came to know this and I saw the evidence. Okay. This multinational company, okay, they had to participate. They didn't want to participate. And word got around that this year in GITEX, they're not going to participate. They used to always take, when you enter the GITEX hall, they used to take the right in the center. Okay, the center. And, just to book the space itself is 2 million dirhams. 2 million is how much? I think $500,000 US or something like that, roughly. Okay, just to book the space. Then imagine the stand and the extras and the workers. So they decided not to take part, and word got around. Lo and behold, the company got a letter from the ruler's office. Okay, and it was not a threat or anything. What it said there was, to our partners and whatever, I look forward to your participation, as I'll be coming to visit your stand. I'll be coming. Now imagine you get the ruler of a country sending you a letter saying that I appreciate you participating all these years. This year I'll personally come and I'll be visiting you. Make sure your stand is there and the date and time. Now you tell me, would you have the guts to say, no, this year I'm not participating in your event because it has not been successful? Do you seriously think you can say that? Now, common sense would prevail that if the big boss tells you, make sure you're there, I'll be coming to visit you, it is evident that if you don't participate, you're going to be in serious trouble. Not you, the whole company. See, in order to get visas, you need the government. In order to get contracts, you need the government. In order to get approval, you need the government. In order to function in the country, you need the government. Like, Mohammed bin Salman, he told the companies, all the multinational companies, a single message. You want contracts in the kingdom, make sure your regional office is here or you'll not be getting the contracts. Now, he only said contracts. That doesn't mean it's only government contracts, you'll not be allowed to participate. You'll not be allowed to set foot into the country. They'll make your life miserable. I have personally known this. See, there are many places where, let's say, for example, I know this happens in some third world countries like Philippines, Vietnam, even parts of Thailand, and like India, Pakistan. Like I'll give you the example. Let's say you are a foreigner in that country and you're wanting to submit your documents for approval. Now there are two choices. Either you do it by yourself, and it costs you lesser money. Say for example, it costs you $100 if you submit your documents by yourself. Or you can do it through the local person, the person who's locally appointed. You can do it through him and pay, instead of $100, you pay $500. Okay. Now common sense would have it, do it by yourself if you can do it. But now here lies the problem. If you do it by yourself and you go directly to the, let's say, superintendent or whatever, nobody gets any money. But if you give it to this local contact or the person appointed, he takes 5 times more. He will get money. He will bribe the doorman. He will bribe the clerk. He will bribe the superintendent. He'll bribe everybody. And everyone's kept happy. So which one do you think you'll get the approval easily? That is why you see there are local representatives in all these countries: Africa, India, Pakistan, Thailand, Sri Lanka, Philippines, Vietnam, all these countries. This is an unspoken rule. In the same way in UAE or the Middle East, you don't keep the government happy, you don't keep the ruler happy, you don't keep influential people happy, you will cease to exist and your brand will shut down. There is an urban legend that Vijay Mallya, who is the tycoon for booze, that is that brand, I can't get the name, Bagpiper I think. He had a logo that was the horse, and it seems he got into an ego clash with the Sheikh Mohammed. He got into an ego clash. This is the early 80s when he wanted to share this logo, and Sheikh Mohammed is passionate about horses. He didn't want anyone to have this logo. So Vijay Mallya tried to show off his power by saying, fuck you, I'm going to have this logo. And he put UB Group in Al Garud area. He put his logo up there. I don't think his company or his brand ever set foot in UAE. Now, this is an urban legend. I don't know how far it's true, but you can let me know. So this is point number 2. Point number 3, you know, this Emirates Airlines has announced 3,000 jobs. Okay. Now, so many people send me, Loy, is this true? Is this false? Is it fake news, real news? Okay, let me tell you. The news is true. 100% it is true. Now, this is the good thing that they are telling you. However, they're not giving you the full story. It's happening in Australia. It's happening in all the parts of the world. They are re-employing their people. This is the good news. What they are not telling you is the contracts are revised. What they are not telling you is they are employing the same old staff, but at revised new contracts, new salary structure, minus the benefits and perks that they were getting before. For example, I'll give you a rough example. Let's say someone was getting 8,000. Before they were getting 8,000 dirhams. Just a rough figure. Now they will get maybe 5,500 or 6,000. Okay? So they're getting less. The second is, before maybe you would get housing. Now you will not get housing. You will get, think a house, you would get a house, an apartment to yourself. And that housing itself is worth, say, 2,000 dirhams. Now they'll give you 500 dirhams and say no housing. You get the house by yourself. Third one is, maybe they used to offer like travel and stay and work 4 times a day, 4 times a week. Now, you will be working maybe 5 times a week or 6 times a week. Okay, longer shifts. And one more thing is, before you do, one person would do one person's job. Now maybe they'll ask you to do 3 people's job. Okay, so this is what they are not saying. So the 3,000 new jobs is 100% true. The salaries are not at all what they used to be. And you can't blame them because they have to bootstrap due to changing market conditions. Okay, they have to cut down the costs. And they know there are desperate people for jobs who have to pay loans. People will accept this. Next one. Which point is this? Point number 4. You remember the announcement? Al Futtaim is going to give 3,000 jobs to locals. And Sheikh Mohammed said, Al Futtaim is going to be, I'm going to support Al Futtaim because Al Futtaim is making my vision a reality. Now, there's a dark side to this story. Okay, now, first, understand this much. Expo 2020 is the vision of Sheikh Mohammed. Okay, and it's a vision of UAE. It's the reputation and the brand, and it matters to UAE a lot. Now, if Expo 2020 fails, Sheikh Mohammed will look bad. UAE will look bad. And they will not allow this, no matter what. So now, how can Expo 2020 be a success? If local as well as international companies participate and people participate, okay? Now, international, he will be nice, he'll pay them money, he'll give them free hotel stay, free visas, free travel, free perks, benefits. Whatever they can do free, they'll rope you in. But now, local people who are operating within the country, he's not going to give anything for free. He is only going to give an ultimatum. You want my support, you better support my vision. See, it's not that the market doesn't have money. The market has money. All the money did not vanish with COVID, but people are keeping their savings without spending. So now he has told them, you have enough savings in the bank. And see, for the ruler, it's very easy. He has access to all the information. He can just check how much money is in your bank account. He will send his people. They will meet the director of the bank. I need to know these 10 people, how much money they have. What all are the transactions? They'll get all the reports, everything. They can just employ the spies and get to know everything. So he'll be very simple. Tell these 10 companies, they're not expanding, better start expanding. They're not having a regional office, I want a regional office. They're not taking part in a project, I want 10 projects you to start. So they don't have a choice, because the success of Expo 2020 is if the whole team contributes. So he has put a gun to everyone's head. You all better start creating new jobs and new projects, or get out. He will not say that. He will say, I look forward to your participation. So now what has happened is, with Al Futtaim anyway got badly affected. Majid Al Futtaim, the other ones who are for the shopping malls and apartments, and there are two. I think Al Futtaim has two brothers. One is the, I'm not too sure, correct me if I'm wrong. One is the guy who sells all the cars and all the brands. The other one is, I think, Majid Al Futtaim, with all the malls and properties and houses. Now, the malls, properties and houses, that guy has really suffered a lot. So he needs to survive. So what better way? And they're very close. The Al Futtaim family and Sheikh Mohammed is very close. Okay. So he'll be like, I'll support your vision. I'll employ people. So he'll say, okay, fine. I'll give you all the preferences. And then obviously other local families want the blessings of the ruler to be in their good books. They'll also participate. Now, will this work is a big question. See, I know that Emirati locals take 10 times more the salary of an Asian. 10 to 30 times. Which is no secret. Okay. With the housing benefits, insurance, pension. It's unbelievable. Okay. Maybe 30 is a little bit too far-fetched. 10 times is at least the standard. Okay, 10 times. If an Indian gets 1,000, they will get 10,000. Okay. Now, for the same job, same responsibility, same everything. Now, just imagine, you as a businessman, is it better to have 10 people working and contributing, or is it better to have one person? One person can never do the job of 10 people. Maybe as a CEO, you don't need 10 CEOs, you need one CEO. Fine, I can understand that. But having sales executives or laborers, you can't take these Emiratis. They have a sense of self-entitlement. They will never work. You can check my previous videos. I don't want to repeat them. They want big salaries. They want an easy life. They want perks and benefits. They want easy money. Majid Al Futtaim or Al Futtaim will not be able to sustain this. And locals themselves, they will not work for very long. They'll keep changing their jobs. So this 3,000 people is a pipe dream. It's same like the hype. We will have 200 million people visiting UAE and all the big world islands and Palm Islands and all that bullshit hype. Okay, so it's not going to work out. 100% it's not going to. Open challenge I'll give you. Number 5. Okay, you remember this? What do you call that? UAE talks about being a Muslim country, Islamic. We follow the teachings and values of Islam and this and that. They'll talk and they'll pray to God and they'll show we are praying for rain, and as if by praying rain comes. Why don't you say that you're doing cloud seeding? That is why when you show rain, the rain that is coming is cloud seeding. Dumb idiots are like, oh, the ruler prayed to Allah and see today rain came. No, it's cloud seeding, you idiot. Okay, so now UAE likes to show it's an Islamic country. But now the question is, if you're Islamic, then from where these prostitutes are coming? Okay, just using a VPN, you don't have to believe me, using a VPN, I challenge you, prove me wrong. Using a VPN, Google search UAE escort, UAE call girls, UAE massage. See the girls you get. They will have UAE based numbers, do Etisalat numbers. They will have their location, they will have their rates. They will tell you, Isaac, Fak, put in here, put up, put down, twosome, threesome, swallow. They'll do shit, they'll do everything. The whole menu is there, each girl. And you'll see the photographs, they are in UAE. Now you expect me to believe all this is photoshopped, all this is fake? You think, here's a simple thing. UAE with its Pegasus software and state-of-the-art technology, you think they don't know that prostitutes are there? You think they don't know sex is happening? You think they don't know all that? No, they know. They're not dumb. In fact, these very prostitutes are bought by people who are working in these key positions. Some very powerful positions, some of them, they operate. But UAE follows a very simple policy. You don't make a loud noise. You do what you want. They want UAE to be like Las Vegas. Okay. Now, in fact, let me tell you this. You know, Hyatt Regency and you know this Burj Al Arab and you know all these 5-star properties. You think for the person who books a presidential suite, 25,000 dirhams a night, or you know more than that, you think they don't get a butler? You think they don't get their own chef? You think they don't get a menu of all the girls that you can choose? Man, girls is nothing. It's, you want a fucking lobster from Australia, they'll bloody ship it. They'll send it in 24 hours. Whatever you want, whatever is your fantasy, you'll get. Okay? When you are ready to pay millions of dollars, they'll give you. See, money and power can bring you so many things, man. So, everything that from gambling, prostitution, drugs, black money, all this goes on. Now, you will say, yeah, Loy, it goes on in all the countries. But since we're talking of UAE specifically, it happens there. So, but the rule is simple. As long as you keep quiet and don't make a big noise about it, go ahead. These yacht parties, they have their boat and they go in the sea. What do you think is happening there? Okay, what do you think they are doing? They are praying to God. They took their carpet and they're praying to Allah over there. Or they're going for fishing. You think gambling is not there? I have received photographs and videos. I have literally spoken to a guy who went for gambling. Okay, it is there in hotels, it is there, but it's hush. In fact, forget 5-star. You just go to Agoda or whatever, and there you'll check the hotels. They'll clearly tell you, you can stay in with a female partner or male partner. Do you need to show that you're married? Or you can just stay with your partner, no need permission. Explicitly there. See, if they start following Saudi rule, no, you have to be married, you have to cover, nobody will come to UAE. They come to UAE to let steam off. So, this nobody will talk, but it goes on. Then point number 6. This one, I didn't know about it. There used to be rumors until I found the person who was actually doing it. If you are in UAE, you'll know that Dubai, there is Dubai Shopping Festival, Dubai Summer Surprise. These are 2 festivals created for boosting sales. Okay. Now, if you check the numbers or the report of Dubai Summer Surprise and Dubai Shopping Festival, even GITEX, you'll only see a graph that is going up, 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 up. You'll only see profit, revenue, visitors only increasing. It never goes down. It never shows 1 year down. Same thing with Emirates. Same thing with all these government projects and government companies. Now, here's the question that you need to ask yourself. How is it only UAE is achieving this success? No other country, no other company. There are a few, but nobody has the consistent success UAE has. The answer is, these numbers are manipulated. And I know the general manager, I'll not tell you of which company, whoever was doing this data or whatever presentation, every year they had to show growth. So they would make sure every year they played around with the numbers in such a way that it would look very convincing. So that is why when you see these numbers, there's absolute growth. Oh, GITEX, the revenue was so much, so many visitors came. Fuck, it was more than last year. The revenue growth more than last year, profitability more than last year. But then if you take part, you create a stand or a stall there, nobody is there. You wonder like, what the fuck is going on? Even you check Dubai theme parks or all government projects, they are only profitable year after year. Only now in COVID, Emirates Airlines finally had to admit, because if they said no, we are doing profitable, people would laugh. Okay. And last, point number 7. UAE government has one of the world's best marketing, promotional and branding arm. One of the world's best. Especially Dubai. Oh my goodness. The social media posts, the Twitter posts. You know, like in India, you have these fake IT cells, fake Twitter accounts, Saudi, many Twitter accounts, and, you know, Facebook accounts are shut down. Russia is known. So all these countries, they do this, you know, fake accounts and election manipulation. They are saying, no, they create bots and AI. In the same way, UAE does not, okay, it does try its hand in all this. Although I don't have, explicit evidence, but I can tell you it's common sense. But they have one of the world's best legit marketing and promotional branding departments or companies. Their videos are absolutely incredible. Their promotional material, absolutely great. Their strategy is fantastic. I mean, you want to learn about branding, business branding, just study Dubai itself. You'll learn so much. Now, the way they show and the way they hype it, it'll make you believe that Dubai is a land of milk and honey, Lamborghinis and babes and towers and easy money, easy life, success, lottery tickets and, 6-figure income and 8-figure income and, Burj Khalifa and, it's like gold plated cars and diamond studded vehicles. And I mean, you'll see superstars and all, but this is just the marketing arm. The ground reality is different. Like, for example, take my example. Now, if you see Thailand's brochure, you'll see, okay, they have purple branding and they do Swadikap, that Namaste, and they show you elephants and they show you greenery. All this is true. But the whole of the island is not a tourist spot, man. Like, you see my videos. You see, it's a village. Like, just imagine someone puts a photograph like this. There's nothing, it's just greenery. So people need some excitement. You need to show exotic food. You need to show exotic animals. You need to show exotic dress. Even India, incredible India. If you see the videos, wow, you'll think like, wow, this is, why do you think the Goras come there, the whites? Namaste, namaste. And they'll try to put orange saffron clothes. You remember Justin Trudeau, how he made a fool of himself? Namaste. And the whole family was copying. So fucking stupid here. That Justin Trudeau is nonsense. And they show incredible India, but they'll not show the ugly side. In India, you'll not get to see slums. You'll not get to see people. You go on the train, you'll see people with their mug of water. They will be shitting, all of them in line. They'll be shitting and you'll smell shit and piss. And because these are poor shanty areas. What do you do, man? If there's no toilet, if there's no place. So we assume what we see in the media is reality. I'm not saying that in UAE people are shitting and pissing. No. There is a poor side to the country. And the majority are normal people who are struggling. You'll not get to see all that. They'll not talk of the struggles. So, don't get carried away by what you see in the media, on YouTube. Or even sometimes some channels say, Dubai, wow, it's incredible, the richest, this and that. It's paid. It's a paid video. But they don't call it paid or sponsored. They want to show it as researched. It's a very biased form of journalism, So these are the 7 points that I wanted to share with you. Controversial bits about UAE. I don't know how far you agree, disagree. I'll give you one last as a bonus, since you're there for so long. There is many news, many happenings and events which are wiped and put under the rug and never talked about. But they were successful about this before. But today, given the number of people who have social media and WhatsApp and news just leaks. But yeah, you can be rest assured, they are literally spying on every single person. Means, it's not that they are sitting and spying on 10 million people or 9 million people. If they want, they can. Means, sorry, let me rephrase that. If they want to spy on a particular person, they can spy on a particular person. But the resources, the time, the effort is quite Herculean. So they're not going to sit and spy on, okay, the watchman, this lady, this guy who goes to church, the small kid. No. They will choose who to, like out of maybe 1,000 people or 10,000 people, they might have one suspect. And there are different levels. And one last thing is, with regards to the same point, there's nothing you can do. So don't be paranoid and don't live under a rock. As long as you have a smartphone, whatever, your VPN, all you can do jack shit. Anyway, this is what I wanted to share with you. The 7 points. Let me know what you agree, disagree with. Put your comments down below. This is me signing off. Guys, take care. You also do the same. Let me know. This is me signing off. You guys take care.